Welcome back to another video in this series. Last time we did implementing patching using WSUS. Now we're going to be managing local storage and virtual hard disk. So let's get right into it. All right, so the server is finally just about finished loading up. For the first exercise of this video, just going to be creating disk volumes, which, disk storage is which form of an integral part of a computer system which stores information about the OS, right, and user applications. So what I'm first going to do is configure disk values with resilient file systems. So, and what a resilient file system is typically, it's a proprietary local file system introduced in Windows Server 2012, and it's intended to replace NTFS if it hasn't already. At least from this lab, I'm not sure if it's available, but we'll be using no diversions before NTFS is used before REFS. But anyway, so to set up a disk volume, just going to do a few things. Going to start with the server manager dashboard here. Actually, you know what? No, I'll head to the PowerShell. Make sure I run this to administrator. All right, so I'm going to use PowerShell to just to get a list of available disks that are offline. So let's see. Now, typically a pipe is supposed to go here, but for some reason that function isn't working for my keyboard. Let's see. There it is. Okay. All right, so finally was able to get the pipe in there. So we can now run the command. All right, it's running. All right, perfect. So we have this 1, 3, and 4 that are all offline. So now I'm just going to try to place number 3 on mine here. All right. All right, so it did give us, unfortunately, a successful confirmation that that was placed online. So now I'm just going to turn off the read-only attribute for it. And even though I know it's not case sensitive for PowerShell, I don't know. All right, perfect. So it looks like it didn't give me a, even though it didn't successfully confirm that I turned it off, I would assume that it has been, or it'd be safe to assume that it has been. So now I'm just going to get some information about this disk here. Online. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to create an REFS value by using up all the available disk space on number 3. So I'm going to do, let's see, this one here. This number 3. Spill. Should be another. Okay. I'll need another pipe here. All right, let's get this fixed here. Just a moment. All right, so we've only got the pipe in there, so we can run the command. So let's see what we got here. There we go. All right, so the new partition was finally created. So I'm actually going to close this out and actually cancel this. We don't need to format anything, at least not yet. So actually, let me verify. All right, perfect. So there's nothing there, so that's good. The partition was created, so we're good there. Even though it's empty. So now I'm just going to create a mirrored disk volume because Windows supports the creation of the software-based RAID 1 called a mirrored volume. So the contents of the first disk are synchronized to the secondary disk to protect data like DOS information or applications, right? So actually, let's see. Yeah, we're on the correct one. Take a look here, computer management. Let's get that back up and running. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, perfect. Let's get this offline. And then let's convert this. All right. So now I've just converted this one to an MBR disk. So it's required to enable the disk as the mirrored replica of another disk, right? So that use the same type. So let's see. Actually, here, so add a mirror. Perfect. Then yes, of course we do. All right, so it should be just loading here. All right, perfect. So now resynchronization occurred from the contents of this zeros C drive. They're synchronized now with disk 1 as far as becoming a mirrored disk, right? So it usually takes a little bit longer, but it looks like actually, okay, yeah, there it is. I thought it was finished, but so as you can see, it's resyncing at 3% now, right? So it should just take a few moments for it to finish. For it to become fault tolerant as a replica that is created this one in this one C drive. So let's see. So it should be done in just a second. All right, perfect. So this 0 and this 1 C drive has officially become 100% synchronized. So now I'm just going to create a RAID 5 disk value. So we understand that Windows supports the creation of a software-based RAID 5, right? It's called stripe volume with parity, right? So the data is written or read across the stripe volume with parity by the OS or the application, right? So usually the RAID 5 calls for 3 physical disks with some similar or various capacity, right? So the 3 disks, if they have a different size capacity, they must come up to like a common partition size to create a stripe volume with parity. So I'm actually going to get into that now. So, okay, perfect. We're still at computer management. Let me scroll down to this 4 to bring that guy online. All right, perfect. All right, let me go back up to this one. All right, RAID 5. Then add it here. Then I'm also going to add this 4 as well. Now they're all using a common volume size. You can see the 17407, but I'm going to change this actually to 3000. And so as you can see, they've all changed to the same, right? And I want to make sure this is in the S drive as well. Now, as far as this, I want this to be called RAID 5, and I want to perform a quick format as well. So let's see this value size, 6,000, because that's okay. There we go. All right, yep, sure do. All right, perfect. So it's going to be just a slight pause here, maybe a long one. There it is, looks like it jumped. So as you can see, it's resyncing again for RAID 5 with the S, saving in the S file here. It's at 33%, which is a lot faster than the C drive for the mirrored volume. So now the RAID 5 is being created, just about done nearly. And now I'm just going to get into creating a striped volume. So it requires at least 2 disks with the identical unallocated size, right? So it's just created to enhance the performance of disk as it provides an efficient disk read time because the disk heads are moving simultaneous, giving a fast throughput, right? So let's actually go back to disk drive 1. See, new strip. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna add this 4. And then let's see. All right, so okay, so this 4 changed the size. Okay, that's okay. Then 1, 2, H. All right, and then we also want this as RAID 0. And of course, a quick format. We don't want it to take too long. All right, perfect. And now the stripes should be being created. There it is. Yep, with the H drive. All right, perfect. All right, so let me go ahead and just want to confirm everything here is synchronized. Okay, we're good. All right, so let me close this out and let's head to the next step of what we're going to do. So now we're going to be managing a virtual hard disk. So a virtual hard disk is a file used by disk storage by virtual machine guests, right? And virtualization software like Windows Hyper-V, which I've used in another video. And the VHDs are usually supported in Windows as an alternative to adding physical disks. So first, I'm going to create a virtual hard disk. Let's stay on this server, actually. So let's go to PowerShell. Of course, run as administrator, even though I'm already an administrator. Then we're going to tell it what we want it to do. And it's going to be pretty lengthy here. Yeah, for the purposes of the video not being so long, going forward after this, I'm going to just speed up the process of when I have to write a long command for the, because especially when I run into issues like creating a pipe. For some reason, my keypad doesn't allow the symbol for the pipe. So let's go ahead and speed it up and I'll be right back with the full command here. All right, perfect. So I placed in the entire command. So now I'm creating the virtual hard disk as we speak. And now that was pretty quick. It was created, initialized, and formatted, and now it's mounted by Windows. So it also confirms here the successful creation of the hard disk, or the virtual hard disk rather. And now the Windows PowerShell is just going to take us to the next available drive letter for the newly created virtual hard disk drive. And actually, it should be a notification here again. So we want to definitely cancel that. So now what I'm going to do is verify the system properties, right? So I'm going to dismount, change the VHD virtual hard disk, type to VHDX, and optimize the virtual hard disk. So to do that, now this command is pretty quick. So I'll continue the camera going. I gotta be able to type it first. All right, so let's get that going here. There we go. Engineering VHD. Perfect. So I got the format, the size, minimum, and everything else that we need, this number attached and all of that. So we see all the system information right for our virtual hard disk. Now to be able to change some of the properties, it must be dismounted first. So we're going to type, again, this is not a long, I'm only going to speed up as far as the purposes of the video. It's not as longer than it needs to be. For the longer commands, I'll speed that up as far as the video. But for the shorter ones like these, I'll just type those straight in. All right, so we've dismounted it. It's not going to show us necessarily, hey, it's been dismounted, but we can definitely assume because it has given us an message. So now I'm just going to convert the engineering.vhd to VHDX, right, as far as the virtual typing. This command is on a, say, the somewhat medium, so it's not too long. I could type kind of fast. Think. What did I do? It was something I did. There it is. Perfect. All right, so it appeared up here really briefly on the screen, the converting status, right? But it has been successfully converted because, as you can see here, I got an error message when I had the incorrect command, and we saw when I entered it in correctly that we got the quick conversions there. So now I'm just going to collect system information again about the disk. So again, this one is fairly short, so I'll just keep everything going. Let's see. Spelling it wrong again. I don't think I can spell today. All right, perfect. So we got it. It's not attached, so it has successfully done everything we need to do as far as the VHD format that is formatted properly. So now I'm just going to optimize the newly created hard disk with, let's see, this command here. So spell it right. All right, perfect. So it's been optimized. So this is a small file. The optimization proceeded faster. So now I'm just going to mount the engineering VHDX drive type. So let's see. Actually, I think I was just trying to take the lazy way out, but no, that's fine. This is really quick. Let's see. All right, right, perfect. So we don't get a system confirmation again, but it has been successfully mounted, or we can assume so because it hasn't given us an error message. All right, so perfect. So we are successfully at the end of this video. So just for a brief recap, we've done a few things. We managed local storage and virtual hard disk. We created disk values, and we also managed those virtual hard disks as well. On the next video, we'll be doing some implementing for network policy servers. So I'll see you then.